So when these right-wing sovereign assholes say they're a bunch of constitutionalists, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Here's Article 4, Section 3. New states may be admitted by Congress into this union. You're allowed to adopt a brand new state into the United States of America, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state. So you can't form a state within a state, nor can any state be formed by the junction of two or more states or parts of states without the consent of the legislatures of both of the states concerned, as well as the Congress. So you can't even combine, Montana and Idaho unless you got the legislatures of both and Congress. So you need three bodies, three legislative bodies, the U.S. Congress and the Congress of Montana and the Congress of Idaho. If they all agree, then we can have the state of Idaho, Montana, Montana, Hoda, Mota. Okay, so the Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory, or other property belonging to the U.S., and nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or of any particular state. So, there you go. Article 4, Section 3 tells me that the right-wing sovereign movement are a bunch of dumbass fucking piles of shit. Dumbass, motherfucking, backwards, ignorant-ass, fucking stupid assholes. Didn't even read the Constitution. They just say, we're constitutionalists. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm the king, and then he's the queen, and then we went ahead and had a big old nobility. Really, a big old nobility, because I think I read somewhere up here about the banning of nobility. That no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, except any present. No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States. So if I said, well, as a constitutionalist, I support, whatever, some person being a king or queen, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I shouldn't call myself as a constitutionalist. We get free McDonald's on Saturday. That's not in the Constitution. You're making up shit. So what they're saying, the right-wing sovereign movement, at least according to the article about the right-wing sovereign movement in Constituiton County, is that they're saying that the state officials in counties are illegal. There is no Colorado. There is no New Mexico. We don't have 50 states. There are no states within the Union. It's all just one big America, which is almost the opposite of what the Confederacy was saying, was it not? No states' rights, one big America. And that's assuming if they even have any sort of, logical overall worldview. So I don't believe that state officials and the county officials are illegal. In fact, I very much believe they are very legal. If you believe in the Constitution, it says that we can form states, and they did a long time ago. Colorado in 1876, they had their own constitution, and then they formed their own counties. That's how our federal system works. It's remarkable. These this right-wing sovereign movement, dickholes, they don't seem to know shit for shit. I mean, how did they come up with that shit? How'd they come up with that shit? Well, it says here that the 3 county commissioners have no legal jurisdiction. They do. It's written right there in the Colorado Constitution. It's written in the American Constitution. We can have a Colorado Constitution. Colorado Constitution says we can have county officials. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're not a constitutionalist. You're a liar, and you're a criminal pile of shit. You don't give a veneer of democracy. Yeah, you care about republicanism. A republic requires democracy. Without elections, you don't have a republic, you stupid motherfuckers. So the U.S. Congress can form states. They can't combine 2 states together without their, legislatures agreeing to the union. And the U.S. Congress also gets to pass rules for the U.S. territories. That's what Article 4, Section 3 tells us. So thank you, Constitution. If these damn, fucking inbred dipshit motherfuckers actually want to catch up and try to figure out what's going on, Article 4, Section 3. But this Constitution, it's got a whole bunch of, you have Article 1, it talks about the powers of Congress. Article 2 talks the power of the presidency. And then Article 3, the powers of the Supreme Court. Article 4 looks like just kind of random, then Article 5, Article 6, Article 7. Look, I mean, then that's it. So what? That's less than 10 pages, 7 pages. If you're an American and you haven't read the Constitution, the right-wing sovereign movement, you need to read the Constitution before you start calling yourself a constitutionalist. And here's another thing. If you're an American, every lawyer, every cop, every judge, anybody, if you go to fight a war or whatever, you have to say you're going to fight, enemies against America and our Constitution, foreign and domestic. So we're all constitutionalists. If you're an American, every single lawful American is a constitutionalist. Every single law comes from the Constitution. So every cop, judge, lawyer, every single lawful citizen are constitutionalists. If you want to, how you have to have a PhD in law just to survive out here, don't you? I mean, my God, is that just for leftist Rittenhouses kind of? Okay, so ultimately, fuck the right-wing sovereign movement. Those motherfuckers, you need to nip that shit in the bud. Got to nip that bullshit in the bud. They're not good for good working class farming families. The Democratic and the Republican parties need to get their shit together, or the independents need to start caucusing, because you have a bunch of fucking right-wing criminal sons of bitches. You gotta nip the right-wing movement in the bud. Ricky Rodriguez arresting the McDonald's and the Costleys and getting rid of... Our neighborhood is a better place without the McDonald's and the Costleys. So you don't want this fucking bacteria to come back. You gotta nip this shit right in the bud, right in the goddamn bud. Nip, nip, nip. So, unfortunately, there is some bad news, because there's some locals who live by the Costleys and McDonald's, and during the years 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. And those locals knew the Costleys and the McDonald's very well, visited with them, laughed with them, delivered them water, never saw or heard anything suspicious. Never ran over their puppy. Never did any drive-by shootings on them. Never spotlighted them from Robert Pickerell's house or Melissa Shimkovich's house. So this is constitutional. Well, according to the Constitution, I get to murder your puppy. You don't know what the fuck the Constitution even says, do you? You have no idea what the Constitution even says. Article 1 is the powers of Congress. Article 2, powers of the President. Article 3, power of the Supreme Court. I'm more of a Bill of Rightsist. I'm not a huge, I like the Constitution. It's better than having no contract. The United Kingdom has no contract. So, I am a constitutionalist in some respect, but I think that our Constitution needs some work. We need to clean up all that racist shit. You got the 3/5 clause, the fugitive slave clause crap. I like the 3 branches of government. We need that to prevent tyranny. So all of them will, jealously guard their authority, and we won't have one single, sovereign autocrat, autocracy, dictatorship. Why? Because you got a Supreme Court, a legislator, and the president. And we also have a federal system. So not only do we have the U.S. government, but we have state governments. And there's 3 branches of government there too. And there's another Bill of Rights. So, okay, you might have, 6 branches of government you got to abide by, but we also got 2 bills of rights, so we got a shit ton of freedoms and a lot of liberties. I like, you put all that shit together, that's a lot of freedoms, and the 3 branches of government I like. Like I said, the U.S. Constitution, it's okay. I wish we would update it. It needs some work. We got to clean up that racist, fugitive slave clause. So the U.S. Constitution says if one of our slaves runs away, then it comes back, like the 18th and the 21st Amendment, instead of just deleting it or crossing it out, we have to add more laws on top of it. It's just getting clunky, and maybe 7 pages is too long. I mean, if Americans can't read 7 pages, maybe we should just have a 1-page Constitution. Well, at least we'll be on the same page. But if the U.S. president ever wanted to impose crazy rules, they would be up against 50 governors. We have a Federalist Republic. In fact, the U.S. government is restricted in the powers that it has. It only has so many powers, and then the rest of the powers are up to the states. So the states have most of the power. The states are laboratories of democracy. It's where our great presidents will eventually come from too. So, yeah, I'm kind of a constitutionalist because I'm an American and I'm a lawful person, but I'm more of a Bill of Rightsist if you want to say, like, what do I believe in liberties? I'm a civil libertarian. I'm a left libertarian, meaning I believe in both social spending, yet I also believe that the government should respect our individual liberties. So we should help with the poor. We should have food stamps, maintain libraries and schools and hospitals, but the government doesn't need to. So, yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. These right-wing sons of bitches, these fucking right-wing goddamn sovereign fucking so-called sovereign movement individual sons of bitches. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So in conclusion, you got Montesquieu, right? You got 3 branches of government. You got the Bill of Rights. But you also got criminals. So you have, all these documents, all these legal documents, but a criminal doesn't want to read this shit and they don't want to abide by any shit. They just want to do whatever the hell they feel like. So I don't believe the right-wing sovereign movement even has a veneer of legality. Their facade of lawlessness is too obvious. It's right on its face. Prima facie fucking bullshit. It's prima facie fucking bullshit. Right-wing sovereign movement, fuck you. You're a bunch of criminal motherfuckers pretending. And that's kind of scary because it's like they're forming their own fucking thing off to the side. And it's awful. They're forming a terrible fucking thing. It's not going to be any better. It's not going to work. And if you believe in this democratic nation-state republic, of course you're a constitutionalist. But you actually have to have read the Constitution and know something about the You can't call yourself a constitutionalist and just be like, according to the Constitution, it says I get free eggs and bacon BLT sandwiches every day. That's what the Constitution says. I fully recognize the power of the governor and the local officials under the U.S. and the Colorado Constitution or, New Mexico or whatever state. The U.S. Constitution paves the way for how U.S. statehood is actually achieved. Article 4, Section 3. And so when they said that state officials weren't legit, that's so fucking stupid and bullshit. They've left the fucking farm. They've left the farm. They went to the funny farm, but they've graduated and they moved on to the funny factory. You go to the funny farm, then the funny factory, and then it's the funny bone. You go to a comedy club. I don't know. But yeah, they got the Constitution all wrong. I like the Bill of Rights. We have a ton of freedoms, the right to due process, the right to courts, the right to a whole bunch of stuff. Because I like freedoms and whatnot. I feel like these motherfuckers, they are bastardizing everything. So anyways, fuck the right-wing sovereign movement. Okay?